What if the system was never built for you to become wealthy? Think about it. You study, you work, you follow the rules, and somehow, you still feel financially trapped. That's strange, isn't it? Because they told you something very different. They told you, work hard and you'll be successful. But millions of hardworking people are exhausted, not wealthy. So tonight, we need to talk about something uncomfortable. Not conspiracy, not fantasy, reality. Because once you truly understand how money works, you start seeing the system differently. And trust me, most people never reach that point. The first lie people are thug. From childhood, you were given a script. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, work for 40 years, retire peacefully. That's the formula. That's the dream. But look carefully. Schools teach people how to obey deadlines, how to follow instructions, how to memorize information, how to become employable. But where is the class about? Taxes, debt, investing, ownership, inflation, assets, financial freedom? It barely exists. And that's not an accident of evil. It's because modern systems were designed around workers, not investors. Workers keep economies moving. Consumers keep economies growing. Borrowers keep financial systems profitable. And most people spend their entire lives inside that loop, without ever realizing it. The paychecks cycle nobody escapes. The first paycheck feels amazing. Finally, your own money, your own independence, your own life. For a moment, it feels like freedom. But then reality starts arriving. Rent, bills, food, transport, family pressure, subscriptions, emergencies. And suddenly, that paycheck stops feeling exciting. Now it feels necessary, then survival-based, then stressful. And this is where the trap quietly begins. Because once your life depends completely on your next paycheck, fear enters the picture. Now you cannot risk too much, cannot fail too much, cannot experiment too much, cannot walk away too easily. And slowly, you become financially obedient. Not because you are weak, because survival pressure changes human behavior. That's why so many people stay in jobs they hate. Not because they love suffering, because missing one paycheck could destroy everything. Think about how terrifying that is. One missed paycheck, and your entire life starts shaking. That's not freedom. That's dependency with a salary attached to it. The good income illusion. Now here comes the most dangerous part. At some point, many people finally start earning good money. Promotion, higher salary, better career. And they think, finally, I made it. But watch carefully what happens next. Better apartment, better car, better phone, better clothes, better restaurants, better lifestyle. And suddenly, their expenses rise almost as fast as their income. This is why people earning thousands every month still feel broke. Because income alone means nothing without financial structure. You can earn a lot and still be trapped. That's why athletes go bankrupt. Celebrities lose everything. Professionals stay stressed for decades. Because wealth is not about how much enters your life. It's about how much stays, how much grows, how much works without your labor. And the system quietly trains people to increase lifestyle, instead of increasing ownership. That changes everything. The silent attack called inflation. Now imagine this. Even if you save money responsibly, even if you avoid stupid spending, your money is still losing value over time. That's inflation. And most people completely underestimate it. Inflation is like invisible theft. Slow, silent, constant. 1 year, groceries slightly higher. Next year, rent slightly higher. Then fuel, then healthcare, then education, then everything. And eventually people say, why does life suddenly feel impossible? But it didn't happen suddenly. It happened slowly. That's why inflation is so dangerous. Because humans react strongly to sudden pain, but slowly adapt to gradual pain. And here's the brutal part. Most salaries do not rise at the same speed as living costs. Meaning, even hardworking people slowly lose financial ground over time. So now people must work more, earn more, stress more, just to maintain the same life. Not improve it, maintain it. That is exhausting psychologically. Why even raises doesn't fix the problem. Now imagine finally getting a raise. You feel relieved. For a moment. Then reality hits again. Taxes remove part of it immediately. Then lifestyle inflation finishes the job. New spending appears automatically. And before you realize it, the raise changed almost nothing. This is why so many people say, I earn more than ever, but still feel financially pressured. Because modern financial pressure is designed to expand with income. That's the trap. The system rewards spending constantly. Everywhere you look. Ads, upgrades, luxury culture, comparison, status pressure. The message is always, buy more, upgrade more, consume more. And people confuse consumption with progress. That is one of the biggest financial mistakes on earth. Why the system loved debts? Now let's talk about debt. Because this is where things become extremely dangerous. Debt today is normalized everywhere. Credit cards, loans, buy now, pay later, monthly payments, financing. Everything is designed to make expensive things feel cheap temporarily. And psychologically, that is powerful, because humans love immediate reward. The system understands this perfectly. That's why debt is marketed emotionally, not mathematically. Nobody says, here's how much interest you'll lose. Instead, they say, only $19 per month. See the difference? The focus shifts from total cost to emotional affordability. And once debt becomes normal, future income starts getting consumed before it even arrives. That's terrifying, because now, your past controls your future. Your future paycheck already belongs somewhere else. And millions live like this permanently, not building wealth, managing debt. But honestly, the biggest trap is not financial. It's psychological, because eventually people stop questioning the system. They normalize stress, normalize debt, normalize paycheck survival, normalize financial anxiety, normalize exhaustion. And social media makes this even worse. Everywhere you look, fake luxury, fake success, rented lifestyles, edited realities. So people feel behind constantly. And emotional pressure creates emotional spending, which creates more financial pressure, which creates more emotional escape behavior. And the cycle repeats endlessly. That's why many people are not financially trapped only by money, but by mindset conditioning. And this is the moment most people realize something uncomfortable. The system does not destroy people instantly. It traps them gradually, through habits, through pressure, through emotional decisions, through financial ignorance. And the worst part? Most people never even realize the game is happening. But in the next part, we're going deeper. Because the real power of the system begins when people become afraid of investing and addicted to consumption. And that changes everything. And trust me, this was only the beginning. Because what you've seen so far is just the surface of the system. In part 2, we're going deeper into the real engine behind modern financial struggle, debt, consumer manipulation, emotional spending, and why the system profits most when people stay financially distracted. So if you finally want to understand why money feels harder no matter how hard people work, subscribe now. Stay until the next part, and let's expose the game together.